here we are with week 11 of your ACT review. You had last week off. In fact, you only had 2 days of school, and your bellies are probably full of turkey. Hopefully, the turkey has not clouded your mind to where you can work on these ACT problems and be able to get them right the first time. This week, we're working on passages that have vocabulary in context, and you want to look. When you look forward to your questions, when you're looking at a passage, you're knowing that you're only going to have about a minute to answer a question anyway. So if you flip ahead and you kind of glance at your question and you see a question that's very short like this, that shows something most nearly means, the word most nearly means, then you know you've got a vocabulary in context kind of question. So in that case, you're probably not going to need to read very much. You can go to the word, find the word in the passage. Here we've got indigence in the passage, and we want to know what indigence most nearly means in that first paragraph. So we would just read around it. The whole region was sparsely settled by people of the frontier, restless souls who no sooner had hewn barely habitable homes out of the wilderness. Hewn, they had made, put together, barely habitable homes. Barely meaning not very. So not very habitable homes in the wilderness, and had attained to that degree of prosperity or of wealth that we would call indigence. Well, we know if you're living in a home that is barely habitable, that's barely livable, then you would have a home that is poverty-stricken. So we have 4 choices, and we could say, which today we would call sustenance, which means sustaining, which today we would call wealth. Well, it can't be wealth because it's barely habitable. Which today we would call influence. That doesn't make any sense. And then we're left with D, poverty. And the answer is D, poverty. A barely habitable home would be in poverty, and that's what indigence means.